Abuja Ghana Music Awards UK, we are back. But Anyamime, okay.
Fellow Ghanaians,
Abuja Ababe address the nation BM our parts be trend like
Sika Dede.
Sika Mp3 dampa.
Sika Mp3.
There will be no haircuts.
Abuja said there will be no haircut until you be any TBM or Ghana. Well, it could be something different. And then you can kika any bini kika see any. Yes, I see.
Fellow Ghanaians, back in 2020, at the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, I started a regular conversation with you that came to be popularly known as Fellow Ghanaians.
Abuja Otakuaba, Corona time, we keep no address the nation, or there's a Corona birth from, and then
With your help and support, and the great mercies of the Almighty, we can say that we emerged from the ravages of the pandemic with one of the lowest mortality rates globally.
And also the number one country affected you most financially. We made $6 billion from COVID-19. That is just from his donations.
When I said at the height of the COVID pandemic that we knew what to do to bring the economy back to life, but not how to bring people back to life, it was not said in jest. We had done it before, and we were on course to doing it again.
I was just during COVID time, or say, how we bringing the economy back, but not people, no. Well, Nanado say one can sakeke. So right now, no economy they back. But they could him to baby or say, oh, economy could grow.
Ghana's economy grew by a remarkable 5.4% in 2021.
So what Nanado refer to say COVID-19, no scare bulb, no team boy Ghana's economy no grow by 5%, which means according to Nanado Ankasan, if I'm understanding him clearly, Abuja COVID and Ghana. Because if they can Ghana to grow, which means the scare bomb team was over the Ghana systems. Then again, we go to the the punchline.
In fact, in the last quarter of 2021, our economy grew at 7%, only for the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Bing, 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 bingo! Bingo! The Russian-Ukraine war. Why young Kumbi, so affecting a Chinese in Bia where we are saying 30 million or 31 million population. Nigeria for war not affect you almost than Ghana. The Ukraine war, so according to the NATO, COVID is higher. You scared to avoid the COVID. Russia-Ukraine war, who is bringing you money if you are not, why and because of that into the economy now saying bing, 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 bingo.
In the first quarter of this year, to aggravate the effects of COVID-19 and plunge the global economy to even greater turmoil from which it has not yet recovered.
Abuja, now point I'm not saying said the COVID-19 by Russia-Ukraine war by affecting some countries. I understand it's affecting some countries, but some countries are building themselves back, including West African countries. But Ghana there, it's like, yeah, this IMF boom.
The whole world has been taken aback by the speed with which inflation has eaten away people's incomes.
But when it comes to inflation, in Ghana, Abuja, top 15 countries, we are not even on the list. What winning inflation, that is where more money chases smaller goods. What you say, like never happened in Ghana, Ubeko markets now oil price boom. That is inflation.
Economies, big and small, have experienced over this year alone the highest rise in cost of living over a generation, the highest rise in government borrowing in over 50 years, the highest rise in inflation for 40 years, the steepest depreciation in their currencies to the US dollar over the last 30 years.
That box call we are another day morning very simple. What you say? No one country, Ghana, and I affected economy in we are seeing country in Bebre na de Zunkoye. Nti o phrase that statement in that way so be a brentimo shadia. Ultimate blame no. If said the economy in and there is something between me ultimate blame.
Between the end of 2019 and now, inflation in Ghana has increased by fivefold.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times between 2019 and now, no. Inflation now rises 5 times. In the Nadia canton 1 cedi in 2019 ending, no. Now, oton 5 cedi or even more. The people are not getting names on Betimi Abuwa Masadi Naba from no. The legends of Baumia, the legends of Kenovoriata.
In Togo, by 16-fold, by 11-fold in Senegal, and by 7-fold in Cote d'Ivoire.
Who's all kind of the other countries about Beshim or Patros Ghana, the Enekoraye? Politics and politicians, don't trust them. It's that simple. Don't take it from me, take it from Kojo Ponkroma back in the day.
In politics, you must understand the following. 1, nobody has your interests. 2, everybody is chasing their interests. 3, dealing with politicians is like sleeping with tigers. You must always have your eyes wide open. 4, and this is one of my favorites. In any political equation, there's always someone being used. If you look around and you can't find that person, then it is you.
Abusia, that shows you the politicians. Don't trust them.
The fact that there are petrol queues in France does not make it more tolerable that the trottoir price from Kassoa to Circle has doubled in the past 1 year.
Exactly.
Nor does it make it any more tolerable that the price of cooking oil goes up every other week. It is important to state mentioning the increases in prices worldwide is not meant to belittle the scope of suffering here, but simply to help us put things into some perspective and hopefully learn some useful lessons about how other people are coping. Fellow Ghanaians, this is why I'm back in your homes this evening to ask for your support as we work together to get our economy back into good shape. In April, my government announced a 30% cut in budgeted discretionary expenditures and a 30% cut in salaries of the President, Vice President, Ministers, Deputy Ministers, MMDCs, and political office holders, amongst other measures.
Steps on what take someone accommodate while rebuilding the economy back up. But amount for baby doesn't really, it won't make any significant change if the ministers now way too much and then we are paying all of them. So why don't you let some of them go by? It looks like we're creating jobs for some people. Because, to be a president, enough from man for more. So if you are up there now, you have to also look back down and make sure some people are shisha. Because of that, Nana don't mean him, or to mean you be what you say. Because you say, on person and go for Benyano. Free education, school feeding program. Even though say, yeah, but we don't have the money to do it or keep it going. But still, Nana don't know buying. They'll make sure say, I could be uncle school. Hey, and
since July, when the government took the difficult decision to go to the IMF to seek support, I've been speaking publicly at different fora on the subject of the economic difficulties we face, especially during my recent tours, so far, of 9 regions, and interacting directly with you, the Ghanaian people.
I know, Senator, that is good, but interacting with people directly, but what who are you can let me know. Because what I've seen is Nana do Kumasi. He goes to Santana, that big. Santana, we ain't even for want to Santana. So if you are saying you are talking directly to the people, and that people is a Santana level, now you are not talking to us. Unless what's your doom, what's the KJT, and then you are talking to the people on the street. That's the neighbor who said you are talking to us directly. Because if not that, then Nana. Event now about my speech. That is not talking to the people. That is just saying something, telling people stuff to do, and not interacting with the people like you are saying. Because the only interaction we see is, Nana, na money fans no pejana inside Nana,
It is also true that many of you have felt the need for me to come back to the Fellow Ghanaians format that brings us all together.
No. Where do you need your ones? I lose like that's all you miss point. During the time I anticipate 2 speeches, it was when now you person you time my baby about that to time baby airport so to me a fly. I'm not for me making businesses. Not really it's a speech, bring you together. One thing I know is a kind of speeches doesn't bring anybody together. but money. And if people are not finding the money, Abeiku, is that simple?
For us in Ghana, our reality is that our economy is in great difficulty. The budget drawn for the 2022 fiscal year, that is this year, has been thrown out of gear, disrupting our balance of payments and debt sustainability.
You see, this was the truth amnesty. Make sure all this video, because we know our economy right now is shit. So we want someone of better years, okay. We are in some deep shit. We need people. But if you come and then you start giving us boss cost of secondary where inflation the same, and then in comparison to us, then I say, still now no mudi agro. Baba na dress a country saying it here. No man economy what you say. That we know that we are listening to a person who feel at least some of the normal Ghana for an feeling.
We are in a crisis.
Period. Simple like that. We are in a deep hole crisis, Yankasa. We need Gobe, Jesus Christ, and Agradaa Empire.
I do not exaggerate when I say so. I cannot find an example in history when so many malevolent forces have come together at the same time.
And you know, look at malevolent forces. COVID, according to what was na economy ne bounce back, and then Ukraine war hit here. Ukraine war na yanko bi na hit here nchen no say malevolent brofwa kese di confuse ye nyina. Me yeso ase anu na say dunka te ya say my way empty. Yeah, I'm not saying this. The article is there. Abuja kwa the name no kasa bebre ya banenta ya kwa MF, and also nebe ya say nebe ye beboa yen amaya kwa the favorite term Ghana beyond aid.
And building a Ghana beyond aid.
And then they are working with the IMF to reach a deal by end of the year.
We're working towards reaching a deal with the IMF by the end of the year. This will give further credence to the measures government is taking to stabilize and grow the economy.
Yeah, Abuja, and also keep in mind, without that, now do I any solution be as to how I basically rebuild the economy in the back. Unless you're Mompaye. The battle is still the Lord's, yeah.
I know that the increasing cost of living is the #1 concern for all of us. It is driven by fast escalating fuel prices, which is caused by high crude oil prices on the world market, and our depreciated currency.
And our depreciated currency. That is true, because the cedi now falling down flat in it. And then because of every single thing, we are cooking import. Abra poultry farms a Gugana de Ketua. But still now, I say you be a Juma Sana be import no man diaba. No,
I know that people are being driven to make choices they should not have to make.
Yeah, that is true. If you get a president, no Casasina. That is something that everyone can relate, because we know what is happening. Tubanatra is okay. And then we are doing our best to solve it, with the IMF, near IMF, say, ready. Yeah, that people can get behind what I say.
Government is working to secure reliable and regular sources of affordable petroleum products for the Ghanaian market.
Okay, so right now, not fair mum na mo before na any day kwanso anampacho nipa na no in charge of so and no yeden. And then all these people in the ministry of whatever and they are working to Addo's content. If said there was a chance, a possibility, say okay, Russia for example, maybe I'm gonna turn crude oil in crude oil you will say $1 or Russia, but France with the same thing, but 1 cents here. The entire won't go for in the Ministry of Petroleum in the Eka or money can no much I am a baby turn down to shit. We solve problems a answer. We don't can't we at least anticipate this idea will happen and then solve it before it even happens? Every time we are playing catch up. Are you?
It is expected that this arrangement, when successful, coupled with a stable currency, will halt the escalation of fuel prices and bring relief to us all.
Then we can't wait for that. We are hoping somebody may know fast because the prices Ghana any day that is Adi Ghana the says I who know. Aburochi understands the economy more than, but at least if they raise a day way price to this level because on Bessie now something more significant has happened. Ghana, we are not waiting for any significant thing here to happen. How can we sell one cement bag from the same company and store beer on the price your turn? Petrol, hey, it looks like nothing is regulated by the government. Oh, beer will quite anyway. Make any amount of profit from whatever they are doing, which is sad.
I hear from the market queens also that another factor fueling the high prices is the high margins that some traders are slapping on goods for fear of future higher costs.
Yeah, that happens a lot. But can you blame them also? Because right now, Nipona kwa fire and say airports ready aba or buy price what the coffee is saying. Or they buy 2 weeks, price not double. That person is selling at the animal at that first price now. Scale benyan on to me sign for second one. Waboka. So the only thing a Nippon bet me is so anticipating. Now you are selling at the current price. Air personal. Send a banner say a toa or bet me yes can the back. Because the economy, there is no belief in it anymore. Because they in there to be on $1, a bossy they assume left and right. And that traders so Ghana won a profit boom. At the end I gave you a coffee on 1 CD. Or better on 5 CDs. Like when you profit enough, or some dollar cost you raise you body you could free bush. Dollar cost you tomb. What affected body I could free bush? Ho!
I say to our traders, we are all in this together.
Nana you toy buyer or matayako, Odiani at the Broad Jubilee House, different. We are not in this together. Can't you know continue together? But we are not living this economy life.
All our children should be educated and trained with skills that will enable us be competitive in the world.
Yeah, that is true. That is Nana go-to point when you bring up here, you can say SHS and any. Like I said, if you have money to do it, I have no problem with it. But right now, before that, now focus school, people were successful, people were being educated. So,
to restore and sustain debt sustainability, we plan to reduce our total public debt to GDP ratio to some 55% in present value terms by 2028.
2028, now I'm going to also. Definitely not MPP, but don't say anything. And I was not to ask what the name say 30% cut to the president's salary, vice president the guy still never seen to ask for 2023.
We've also decided to continue with the policy of 30% cut in the salaries of political office holders, including the president, the vice president, ministers, deputy ministers, MMDCs and SOE appointees in 2023. My fellow Ghanaians, the success of our efforts at diversifying the structure of the Ghanaian economy from an import-based one to a value-added exporting one is what will, in the long term, help strengthen our economy.
Simple and tetia, no matter import to time from outside the Ghana and the dorsal. Because of that, anytime the cedi must rely on the dollar. And by that, the cedi can never hold its value anywhere. Because if the dollar costs like a crabia, dollar no goes through, but be a one walk, but cedi from. If the normal import to the back country, no. See a team test was significantly. Now a team export to normal more the outside there. That will help. But I'm this is a shedding.
We're making some progress with the 1D1F, but our current situation requires that we take some more stringent measures to discourage the importation of goods that we can and do produce here.
No, Ghana, but still we will import outside the end of the bar. And sometimes I understand amount for Bebrena per quality. If they have their own money and they want to buy whatever they want, they should be able to do so. But some of the things like poultry,
we must, as a matter of urgent national security, reduce our dependence on imported goods.
That's all.
That is why we have to support our farmers and domestic industries.
Yeah, namuntu cocoa board, na cocoa farmers in be more brepa. More brepa for cocoa board, and they are making no money. No more Muslim free Libby.
Fellow Ghanaians,
now Bujaya come be a trend in so.
As the French would say, l'argent n'aime pas le bruit. To wit, money does not like noise. Sika, Mp3.
Abuja, la rura ntore la broué. La hula ntore la broué. Since you do French, English ni kura ye hunso. President Regina Waki Kafret, La Wuru, La Hura, La Burue. Hey, Nanado. Onyamime. Kebuemi. Kebuemi, the graduate. Yeah. Nana Sika Dede. Says Nana change two boy backing vocalist. Sika Dede. Yeah, baby, I no. How does Sika Dede enters into this conversation?
Where there's chaos, where there's noise, where there's unrest, you will not find money.
Nana, you sure about that? Kobisa US military. Time Amuko Taliban land, Pakistan, Afghanistan. No Amuko first Kankwana. Neska ni se Kronumana. Where there is chaos, there is more money. More money. That is the reason why the US got involved in Libya and Tokwa. That's the reason why they went to Afghanistan. Chaos, more money. Ghana chaos economy ko ye ko penny for bidim ska mu make. Chaos, more money.
If you talk down your money, it will go down.
Nana nya yo, mama ti Accra the capital no, and mama city number be te se bola toilet roll. What you say? Oko hotel they charge in dollars. Ghana for to Ghana, the dollars. They accept dollar as a currency so called Tadia. I know other countries here, but still Ghana yebi. Ghana yebi. Into that yebi and about by a dollar. Okoto dine wa Ghana. They don't price in Ghana cities because they confuse you. Why price the building in countries in currency? Abra bet me a price no US there. So all the time people hold dollar in high esteem like Ghana flag. Now for this city you're holding in low self-esteem like Patapampa. So it's not like say a casa bad about the currency and then our money go from. You guys now come bet me a baby are not doing anything. And because of that, always, the talk down there to happen. Do because Sika Dede because they cassette or you want currency. No, because look at the Forest Bureau, look at Bank of Ghana, because their exchange rate, is.
The recent turbulence on the financial markets was caused by low inflows of foreign exchange and was made worse in the last 2 to 3 weeks, in particular, by the activities of speculators and the black market. An anonymous 2-minute audio message on a WhatsApp platform predicting a so-called haircut on government bonds sent all of us into banks and forex bureaus to dump our CDs. And before we knew it, the CD had depreciated even further.
Now that tells you how fragile our economy is. But according to the no marketing KTB plus 2 minutes WhatsApp audio. Yeah, and then I'm gonna. You see, sometimes if the thing happen and they are trying to come up with excuses of reasons why it's here I didn't happen. Sometimes it's laughable. 2 minutes WhatsApp audio. That is the reason why Ghana you see the now drop from skyscraper level to Atakwame dying. What you say? 2 minutes WhatsApp audio. How can you tell me this story? How can you tell me the story? Basa haircut as I'm now can I force him from NDC. Time I think Mahama everybody speech on the Ghana economy. If I'm not mistaken, that was when I talk about that thing.
Following are the people that should expect a haircut. Domestic bond holders, get ready.
And another chemo I say, haircut to be anywhere better happen.
There will be no haircuts.
As a matter of fact, Ghana barber shops in April be good.
All of us can play a part in helping to strengthen the CD by having confidence in the currency and avoiding speculation.
Nana, and yes, 33 one kasa also. Mo government air price here, they don't price it in Ghana cedis. Nana one kasa can be. You price everything in dollar. It's like, why don't we just, go ahead and use dollar as our currency? Okay, and what didn't happen. It's like Apple's Tim Cook or uses Samsung to do his business now or using as his daily driver. But that is not what here. It happened with iPhone and not Samsung with one them. But Ghana there, even though say currency here, the government in USD. Why do we owe?
Let us keep our CD as the good store of value it is. To those who make it a habit of publishing falsehoods, which result in panic in the system, I say to them, the relevant state agencies will act against such persons.
Fake news, fake stories about Ghana city. Yeah, Nanado said relevant agencies, omo be start e be cheche mo nti no ma story na say fake here. Be careful angasa. Don't mess with Nanado's economy. He will mess with you.
Enianum
aba mu die na ekotwi.
Minim say as not asetemu ayede. Nanso mo bi ampa aba.
Ona na ye pa aba de ache. Ya pa aba unim chacha.
Mo koso nya gidie wa ba num.
Ani amumu aye na yeso nya gidie wo mumu.
Amen.
So basically na kamrofo na odi batwi a na onim say ni a ofrie ho a na okwa nyamime.
Amen.
Anyamime na.
Ya ka ni biewa.
Na ka ni biewa na okan na. I don't know your kind there. But part say mumie mani ye. Wa hu ne last bi oye no.
We provided free water and electricity as well as reduced tariffs. It is obvious, fellow Ghanaians, that you have a government that cares.
No, we know and understand that part, but sometimes some of your actions and no, not really. We don't have a government that even listens. Because what kind of now you know taking? Yeah, see what break was yeah, if something like that's happening, then we feel like okay. Now on fire.
I have total confidence on our ability to work our way out of our current difficulties.
That specific line, Nana don't can hear crowd there. I can't bear 10 times. I have total confidence. Total confidence. Ayo. But I was basically another speech. You're going to find a slogan.
This too shall pass, as the battle is the Lord's.
Abuzia, no. President of the nation, who pay full video now on Facebook channel and also at the hall. Go listen to everything word for word. What do you think? Mami who sends them our comment section as well. Premier League World Cup here, baby basu, So who baby live and colored. Abuzia won't spend the enormous amount of money be as a contract to her. You hear a KTV. A very simple, easy to use device here. No one is what get you on device, no one connect to TV. And I say, oh, TV, smart TV, because I'm betting me, I ask your mama directly. Very simple, cry. On my numbers, the West screen, Transober reach out to KTV refs, Ghana or Heneba, number and a Papa Abeiku, and Nakila K Nankasa, Ewo, Europe, Babia Wobiano. Numbers the West screen as one contact it. O contact here, which almost open KTV device in the Uzomba Boama, Zakambi. Send I buy a Premier League, yo, My League, yo, movies, so pay-per-view events, or which meaning live and colored. Okay, TV. It's that simple, crap. This is open beer. I'm numbers in the West screen. I was no. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for videos like this every single day. Till we meet again, Adios.